Hi everybody, my name is Amos for amosyomusic.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can get creative by using an EQ to create a telephone effect. This song is called Sound of That, courtesy from the band Autopilot and ProStudioLive.com. You can listen to my exact mix of this over at my website amosyomusic.com, and I'll also leave a link in the show notes below for you to check it out. So let's get right on to it. I'm going to start playing the song and we'll just take it from there. Okay, cool. So at the start of the song, you can hear this mid-rangey guitar intro that happens in the beginning. So let me just solo it up. I've called it intro guitar, and let's hear it by itself. All right, cool. So before I actually did any processing on it, this intro guitar part actually came from the live guitar tracks right here. So if I were to unmute the clip and play it for you, it's going to sound like this. All right, it's a cool part, and I want to actually feature it leading up to when the whole band kicks in to be big and to fill up the entire stereo spectrum. So in order for me to create that contrast, I needed to make something that sounded more mono, sounded more focused in the center, so that when the stereo guitars come in, when the drums come in, when the bass comes in, it shoots out wide into the left and the right speakers, and that creates a huge impact leading into the song. So what I did was I actually copied this stereo guitar part onto a new track. I muted it so that I can only just make do with this particular mono track. So by itself, on its own, it sounded like that. Let me just mute the processing and the effect. It sounds like this. It sounded okay because it's just a mono part, something that I wanted just to sit right in the center of the mix. But I wanted to create this, telephone effect. So that it's something interesting. Remember, this is just the start of the song. You actually want to capture your audience attention straight away. So I just wanted to create some sort of telephone effect, and I just reached for a simple EQ. In this case, I'm using my favorite go-to EQ that I love, the FabFilter Pro-Q2. So this EQ gives you multiple presets right here that you can choose from, and I just picked the foam preset and I just rocked with it, and it sounded good, and I left it the way it was. But I also will show you how you can recreate this if you do not have this particular EQ on your own DAW. I'm also going to show you how you can actually create a similar sound from your stock EQ. So over here you can see in this particular EQ from the preset, it has a high-pass filter that goes all the way up to 600 Hz and a low-pass filter all the way up to 4.5K. And then it also includes these three peak frequencies right here. So 941, 1.6K, and then 2.6K. So these three frequencies right here will actually push the focus point that I'm actually taking out. So here I'm taking out everything below 500 Hz and I'm removing everything above 4.5K. So if I remove just these three frequencies, this is how it's going to sound like. Okay, I'm going to play with the three frequencies in, and I'm going to take it out. So this is without. There's also going to be a volume difference because these frequencies are actually being boosted as well. But what I'm hearing from this preset is that it also adds a little bit of focus into the frequencies that I actually want to emphasize on. So that's within this band area. So now I'm going to show you how you can actually do a similar EQ with just a stock EQ in your DAW. In Pro Tools, I'm actually using the EQ37 band. Let me just open it up for you. And I've literally done the same thing. I've actually used a high-pass filter, 18 dB per octave, and went all the way up to 620 Hz. And then I did a low-pass filter right here and just engaged that in. and anything above 4K it's been taken out 18 dB per octave, and also did something similar, boosting the mid frequencies, and this is how it sounds like just with the stock EQ3 7-band that comes with Pro Tools. Sounds pretty similar to what I had. So let's bypass that and switch to what I've originally begun with my FabFilter Pro-Q2, and then I'll switch to and fro, and you can hear that it sounds actually pretty similar. So this with the EQ3 7-band. Okay, I'm going to switch over. So this is my EQ with the FabFilter. I'm going to switch over quick. And I'm going to switch it back again. Sounds pretty similar, so you can actually achieve a similar type of sound with just your stock EQ right here. And then what this gives me by having it on its own additional track is that I can actually do funky things with it. You know, I can actually distort it. In this case, I've actually pulled open Decapitator from Sound Toys, and I've just used I just cycled through the different styles right here. I just picked up on the final P style, and this is what I got. So it just adds a little bit of hair, a little bit of fuzz onto it. If I were, and bear in mind that the mix is also about 40% on it. So if I put it 100% wet, this is how it's going to sound like. Sounds pretty cool, but I think I like it where I had it. You know, just a little bit goes a long way. So you can actually get creative, you can stack plugins on it, you can stack different kinds of modulation effects to create more interest into that as well. And then following that, I actually had a Cooper Dimension time cube from UAD. And I'm using the vocal dimension preset, something I picked up from David Glenn. He used this on his vocal just to create additional space around the mono central. So rather than having it dead center, which I initially wanted, this was just, you know, creating something towards the side so that when the full band kicks in after the intro, it's not going to be just a huge drastic change. So let me play it with in, and then I'll take it out. So this is with the preset. Okay, and this is without. So it's just center. With. So it just takes up more on the sides. So that's cool because that actually kind of anticipates the listener into listening for the big sections when the band actually kicks in. So let me play for you with everything going on and into the main intro. So yeah, pretty cool. And I also did this telephone effect in the lead vocal right here, something that I picked up from Daniel Robert Ford. He actually did this on his mix, and I thought that was actually pretty neat to do. So I picked it up from him, and I also did the same EQ you can see right here on my lead vocal level. I've actually did the same preset from the FabFilter Pro-Q2, just called open the foam preset, and I've actually bypassed the automation lane so that it comes in only for the section that I want it to. So let's take a listen, and you can hear what I'm actually trying to achieve out from it. Here it comes. So, you know, it just, when the whole band stops for that brief moment, I'm just using the telephone effect just to create some interest, and then throws back to the main chorus where it just creates some kind of contrast for the mix itself. And it also kind of ties in lyrically when he says that he picks up the phone, so kind of use a telephone EQ for that. And it kind of works, so I was kind of happy with what Daniel Robert Ford had shared and how it worked for my mix as well. So that's all I have for you for this video. Hope that inspires you to be creative in using simple things like EQ to create a certain vibe and ebb and flow to your mix. So until next time, see ya.